Hello everyone, it's Melinda here with CatSmashPuzzles, and today I'm doing the July SpeedPuzzling.com's USA JPA competition. I did not participate in this event because I was full of other events, unfortunately, but I have now actually signed up for the October USA JPA event, so I'm looking forward to doing that. But this one was a bit of a doozy for what I understood, and I am borrowing this puzzle from a friend, and basically, my pairs partner Christina informed me that there was just a lot of issues with this puzzle, and people just had a very hard time getting it completed within the hour. In fact, first place was the only one who completed this in under an hour in 57 minutes and 29 seconds. So that tells you that this puzzle is going to be rather difficult, and I think I will just stick with the one goal of being under an hour. So, a couple things I've heard about this puzzle is, one, it actually is the middle section that is very difficult, and two, the picture on the box does not match what's on the puzzle, which if you rely on the image to look at when you're doing speed puzzling, it might actually be even more difficult for you. And I don't exactly rely on it. In fact, when I started speed puzzling, I tended not to look at the image. I've started to migrate to looking at it if I need to. So I do think that might not be such a detriment to me. But I do think that if, what I understand, the way most of the speed puzzlers were doing it, they all did the outside first, and then it was the centerpiece that actually just threw them off, and it took them 20 plus minutes to complete. So first place I told you was 57 minutes. Second place, the lady who was in second place is one of the fastest puzzlers I've ever seen. She did it in an hour and 8 minutes, so there was almost 11-minute gap between first and second place. So that does tell you that this one is going to be very difficult. I'm probably going to have a hard time getting this under an hour based on what everybody else's times are reflecting. And that is one thing about speed puzzling, is that each puzzle is different, and each puzzle could possibly have more complications, and even the fastest puzzlers can struggle with even the harder ones. So I think that's a good way to kind of demonstrate how some of these competitions can be it changes the game a little bit. This is called Gradient Spiral, and it is a custom-made puzzle. The brand is PuzzleYOU, so usually with PuzzleYOU, you just submit an image that you want, and then she can do a puzzle with. I haven't looked too much into it. I do want to do a custom puzzle for a few things myself, and I've done a couple PuzzleYOU puzzles at this point, and I do like the quality of it, but I know there's a Ravensburger version of it as well, so I haven't quite made a decision whether I will do it through that or through PuzzleYOU. So, that being said, let's smash it.
Perfect.
Well, 132.15. This was the Gradient Spiral 500-piece puzzle, custom made by PuzzleYOU, and this was the USA JPA Zoom competition from July, and I don't think I did so well. I knew it was going to be tough. Like, I came in fully prepared. I probably wasn't getting under the hour, but 1 hour 32, oof, that's probably one of my slowest times for a 500 in a minute, besides Snack Attack, but that still was 10 minutes slower than that. So, what went wrong with this puzzle? I guess I'll start with what went right. I decided to go ahead and insert the edge and just do the edge first. I normally never do this, and I figured this was a tough puzzle. I'm going to just go ahead and just do the edge, do something a little easy out of the way, and give myself something to work on, because I thought the stripes would help me on the edge and I could just kind of move my way inward. It didn't work out that way. I started just kind of going after random stripes. I actually even started some of the middle section, which was part of the issue with a lot of people. They had a hard time with that middle. They had gotten all of it on the outside completed, and then they got to the middle and they got really slowed down. That was actually not my experience. I ended up kind of just being all over the place, and the middle was actually not too bad for me. It was just everything else was just so slow and kind of getting organized, and I think that just ultimately got me the hour 32 time. So where would that have put me on the ranking? So there was 169 contestants, and I would have gotten 29th place or 83rd percentile, which is not bad. A little bit slower than my normal placing, but I do think that this was a tough puzzle. I think some people did better than others. It's a gradient, which is not my strength, and I know my pairs partner Christina beat me by about 5 or 6 minutes there, and so I think that this wasn't my strength, and I went after it with a different strategy, and therefore I think that might have slowed me down a little bit, but I really wanted to see if that strategy was worthwhile. And it actually, the border came together pretty quickly, but my sorting, my flipping was a bit on the slow side, and I think that just this one kind of proves that maybe I need to just work on that a little bit more. I don't think this will be a good pickup test. Maybe. Oh, okay, I got it. Now, does it match the box? That was one of the biggest complaints a lot of people had on this puzzle, and sort of not. I think the picture's slightly more to the right on the photo, and it's actually the way the puzzle was cut, it's kind of more shifted a little bit. But I do think the color is the distinction, and I think that's what people were complaining about, was the color is darker on the picture than it is here. It is lighter on the puzzle. And I can see where that would throw people off, but to me, the pieces and the colors were all kind of mixed together, and I don't know, I think this one was just a tough one. I am actually now signed up for the October USA JPA Zoom competition that is run by speedpuzzling.com, and therefore this will not count toward my rating because I'm just doing this for the video, but the October contest will count towards my rating. So I'm kind of glad I wasn't in this one because that would have been very discouraging a little bit. That being said, we did not smash this one today. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.